Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to a new game, which is the beginner's guide, which is still related to the Stanley Parable, but oh well. Let's take a look. Please make sure audio is on. Well, I'm trying to do my best. I mean, this is one of those old Stanley-like games. Controls? No. Yeah.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing the Beginner's Guide.
Thank you.
My name is Davy Reedon. I wrote the Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011.
Okay.
We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda.
Who's
Now,
Coda?
these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make.
Okay.
So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way.
Good to know.
And
Thank you.
mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment.
Wait, how do my
What I
controls
like
work?
is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract
sorry.
blobs and
My
impossible
control
floating
stick
crates
is
around the level. And of course,
really
it
annoying.
destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator.
Come on.
It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he
The
was
stick
building?
movements are all
This is
random.
what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not
good
that
to
they're
know.
all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator.
Oh, there we go.
I want us to see past the games themselves.
Okay.
I want to get to know who this human being really is.
Me too.
And that's exactly what we're going to do here.
Okay.
So, it's 2008. Coda starts making these games.
Yep.
And he never releases any of them. He doesn't
Oh.
put them onto the internet. He just makes them and then
Okay.
immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever.
That's weird.
And I think he really understood this image of himself
this
as a
is the end.
recluse. At one
So-
point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made. Until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since.
Okay.
And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again.
Well, it looks like
And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com.
So, that was
Okay,
it.
that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game.
Okay.
As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Okay. November 2008. Ooh, elevator. Ooh, I got the gun. Can I shoot? Apparently not. Let's see. Gamepad. Calibrate buttons. Move forward. Move left. Look up. Look left. Interact menu select. Go back a menu. Pause. Why do I need a chat option? But oh well. Oh, sorry. Chat option 2. Chat option 3. Okay, now you're just trolling me. There we go. Good. Now I can
This
walk
game is
normally.
called Escape from Whisper.
Okay, warning,
And it's one of the
Whisper
more generic
machine.
games you'll see
Status
from
active. Evacuate immediately. Okay, let's do it. I don't think I can shoot.
You can click to fire the gun.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I guess I just have to do that with the mouse. Oh yeah. And I'm out of ammo. So...
Security call breached. Hostile alien life forms inbound.
Oh. Just...
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere.
Yep.
But then clearly there are no enemies anywhere.
Yeah, that's the
You
weird
can't
part.
even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately, we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin ship evacuation.
Oh, so hold on a sec. Okay. That way I can better hear him. Okay, so let's go. To where am I supposed to go? I mean, I know I'm playing unfinished games. Oh, there we go.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Ooh, that's pretty cool, yeah. Looks so pretty.
Apparently, this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know.
Okay.
There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting.
Okay.
The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Okay. What's the whisper machine actually? Oh well.
Hey,
Ah.
you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature.
Okay, for a second I thought you were the whisper machine.
Your body could stop the beam.
Okay.
So much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it?
Well, I guess I have no other choice, so... Okay.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level.
Yeah.
But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Like I just have to stare at the door. Oh, it just resets. Okay, let's do it again. Oh, I'm flying now. Okay. Oh, I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the
The
sky.
beam causes you to start floating.
Okay.
And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse.
It represents how I'm dying, and I'm
I have no
going
idea
to
what he was
heaven.
thinking, but
to
what's
meet
clear is
my
that after
creator.
making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs.
Okay.
So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions.
Ooh.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Okay. Loading November 2008. The past was behind her.
Yep.
Oh.
In this game, you can only walk backwards.
Okay. Awkward. How do I play this? Where do I go? I guess these are things that no one knows. Oh, but the future.
So it's a short
could
and
not be
relatively
seen.
minimalist
Okay.
experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually
Why
it
does the
seems to be
future
more focused, more complete.
Keep changing.
Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
But if the future is always behind her, how will she find the strength to confront it?
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that.
Okay.
Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick.
It's symbolic.
Okay, next one.
About how you're always going to the past, but not to the future. You are now entering. Okay. So, what am I entering to be precisely? Or exactly?
And that's it. Okay,
Seriously?
the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Okay. Nonsense
Oftentimes,
in nearly
Coda
every
would put
direction.
bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games.
Okay.
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games.
Yeah.
He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, that was it. It was dead to him.
Okay.
And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
Why am I going so slowly?
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens.
Okay.
So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all?
Maybe
Well, to
there's
show
a
you,
secret.
I'm modifying the game here, so that when you press the use key on your gamepad, it'll bring you back up to full speed, so you can enter the door for yourself.
Wait, are you telling me you edited the game? No, seriously. I can walk normally now. Also, I guess this confirms this ain't a controller-fully game. Okay. But, are you sure it's okay to change the whole game? You run a shop inside your own body. That a game only mere motivational quotes played one after the other while the player cannot move. You play as a
A
loud,
room that's warm
bodiless sound,
and
walking
nice
around confusing
and
people.
filled with little
You start in a
ideas
small
for
room
games.
until you realize you can just walk through the walls. The game is nothing but giant blocks of text explaining what's happening.
Coda would often tell me
You
that he
walk
didn't
around,
mind if people thought of him as
Sowing
cold
their
or
hopes and
distant.
dreams.
He said that he knew that he was
And I'm not
actually a
gamer, I have
vibrant
to
and
scream into
compassionate
the mic
person,
every 50
but that
seconds
it
to
takes
play.
time to really see that.
Okay.
It can be a very
A
slow
key
climb
in
to
one
get
game
there.
unlocks a door in a completely separate game. A series of lava manuals come with the game, giving you incorrect instructions on how to play. And I have no idea what's going on. Ready, set, fish. Ready, set, fish. Doot, 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 doot. Okay. But yeah, maybe I should pay more attention to the narrator than the whole reading stuff.
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle.
Oh,
Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
okay. Oh, there we go. Up. Come on. There we go. Now I lock myself up. And it's freaking dark in here. Oh, there's another one. Okay.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon.
Okay.
We're gonna see it a lot.
Oh boy. I'm already excited for it. Oh well. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-dow. Okay, let's see.
So that seems to be it, right?
Oh,
You walk
that
down
was
the
it?
corridor, you solve the puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough.
okay.
Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again, so that when you
Why?
press the use key on your gamepad, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Okay. I get the feeling your friend doesn't really like this. What do I know? It's more convenient for me still.
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing.
Yes.
I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then,
Okay.
in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way,
True.
I think that the point is the same. Is that most of the time, you don't get to know what you're missing. Or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player.
True.
So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
Good question. Oh, I'm here again? Maybe now it tells me what I'm entering. You are now exiting?
Aha. So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow.
Ah, okay, thank you.
It could even be that the stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game.
Okay.
There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them.
Makes a lot of sense.
And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
Loading March 2009. The Great and Lovely Descent. Ooh, a bar. I'm going to
Let's talk about video game development for a second.
Okay.
Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
True.
To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly.
Yeah, like starting
One
up
of the things that
with
it does
more
very well
GPU cores.
is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
Okay. But
The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
whee! But yeah, like I was saying, I had to do a lot of CPU core limiting in order to actually play this game. I know I actually had the same problem with the Stanley Parable demo and the 2013 version of the game, but yeah, after a year, well, slightly more than a year, you might actually forget how you did it in the first place. So yeah. But oh well, I'm just happy that I'm playing this and everything will be recorded, so I won't have to be pissed off later. So yeah. Anyway, whee! Whee! But yeah, I'm really glad no one is using the Steam engine anymore, because this is a pain. Oh well, this game is fun, but the whole CPU core limiting thing, that is kind of a pain. Ooh. Am I going to prison? I don't want to go to prison. I don't want to go to prison because I am a cool rogue. Oh wait, I forgot. I was playing Coda's game. Yeah, I can see how this is related to the Stanley Parable. Sorta. I kinda miss the comedy. But other than that, it sure is inspirational. Or at least quite interesting.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Yeah, thank you. I don't want to wait a whole hour. But
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible?
that's a good point.
And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else.
Sounds boring.
I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
Yeah, figured. That kinda sucks though. Hoping for some gags and then not having any. It's kinda You know, annoying. Oh well. Let's see. Where are we? Oh, it's the puzzle again.
It's the puzzle again.
Yeah, that's what I
It's the
said.
exact same solution as the last time.
Okay. Hey, it is exactly the same. Awesome.
There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
Okay, thank you. Also, someone should tell the developer, or Coda, that the music is way too loud for your narrator voice. You should do something about that. Okay, and what's this? Listen, speak, listen. Oh, speak.
Here, Coda
hello?
begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the buttons on your gamepad to respond.
Okay, you there. Did you come up from above? What was up there? Yes, that was a world stamped with whiteness. Yes, there was an enormous prison I spent hours in. Yes, there were these floating colored blocks. That's a good point. Which came first? I think I did fell from those colored blocks. So let's go with that one. Yes, there were these floating colored blocks. That's the above world. You've been there. Now this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Yes, I did. That was literally the last thing I did before coming here. No, I don't remember having to go through any puzzle. I prefer not to tell you. After all, we've only just met. Meh, I'm an honest kind of gnome. So, yes. Yes, I did. That was literally the last thing I did before coming here. Again, perfect. Now please tell us how you solve it. Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. I don't remember how I solved it. I'm trying to remember, but I can't. I didn't solve it. Someone else let me in. Trust me, you don't want to go over there. I go for 2. I didn't solve it. Someone else let me in. You didn't solve it? So you have learned nothing. You cannot help us escape this prison. You are not the one I need. Surely there will be someone else. Well, thank you. Very convenient. Oh, more of these guys. Great. Speak. Listen. Hello, how did you get here? Was there a puzzle you had to pass through? Wait, sorry, I have to turn on the lights. Yes, do you want to know how to solve it? No, I've been right here this entire time. Yes, do you want to know how to solve it? No, we actually find the black space between the doors to be far more interesting. Have you seen it yet? Why should I care about space between the doors? That's actually a good point. Actually, now that you mention it, I remember feeling strange as I passed through it. I don't recall a space between the 2 doors. Yeah, I go for 1. Why should I care about space between the doors? There's a reason, but it may take time before you understand, which is fine. And I couldn't read the last part.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
Okay. Oh hey, it's a city. Ooh, it's pretty here. I like this part of the game. I like this.
It's a lamppost.
Yes, I love it.
Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out.
Ooh, it's the light in our
I'll tell you what
darkness.
I think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something.
Okay.
He wants a destination,
Ooh.
which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination.
Okay.
We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them.
Okay.
And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
I'm glad there's actually a point now. Although it was kind of interesting talking with those listen speak head guys. Loading April 2009. This game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. Yeah, I'm not going to read that though. All notes you see. Oh, I'm not talking about the text, even though I just missed it because I was talking, but you know, I'm not going to read all of this. Nice room, not? Wow. You can tell it's 2009.
So first off, I'm sure
How
you
do you
can
beat
deduce
this
this,
game?
but this game is not connected
point
to the
to
internet.
this.
All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda.
Oh.
This was actually the first game of his that I ever played.
Whoa, holy
this
shit.
was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually. Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them.
True.
Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
Couldn't this just be a beta test for when
But
the
it's
people
ironic, isn't
are
it,
online?
that in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me.
Wait,
that
don't
I could
listen
just
to that guy?
play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
True. Yeah, being lonely can really suck. It's been a while since I've been on my adventures, but oh well. Take my hands, let's jump together. Oh, you can't actually jump. Well, that was pointless. I'm not going to read them all. I need someone to talk to. Is this the note? Don't listen to the other notes. Yeah, they are really pointless. Okay. Ooh, nice painting. Whoever made this has issues. Who are all of you? Maybe he did all this to create the idea there are multiple lonely people? Because I really don't know what's going on. Oh, congratulations for beating the game, I guess. More room.
At the end of this level, we're
Scared
going
of
to see
writing
the puzzle
something.
again.
Don't want to...
And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means.
Okay.
Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one.
Okay. What's that whispering?
In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
Oh, hey, it's the door again.
And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
Okay. But I still don't get what that whispering is. Oh, hey. I'm at the tapping machine room. How do you leave notes? Well, you just did, and besides, you really should know at this point. Oh well. Welcome to Time Machine City. Well, at least there's a lamppost. Oh, are you there? Please say something. It can be anything. I need you. Talk to me, please. Why am I here talking? Speak, 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 speak. Speak, speak! Yeah, sorry, I just noticed there were lines there. Born stars die too.
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kinda just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Okay. So, what do I do exactly? Oh, I just go in here. Okay. Do. Nice picture of the city, though. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow.
See, this is it. The whole game.
Oh,
and
seriously?
There's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Okay. Let's see if things still go correctly. Would be awkward if it didn't. Wow, 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 wow. Oh, let's see. What furniture ought to be... Sorry, again. What furniture ought to go in the center of the room? You know, as much as I like the TV, I'd rather have a refrigerator. Thank you. That's not a refrigerator. Okay, now what about along the wall of the room? Let's put a huge picture of a horse. Because why not? Or you can give me a couch. Seriously, why give me choices if you just put it in a garbage can? I think we should light up this room a bit. A skylight, full ceiling window. Let's open this baby up. I'm thinking of 10 times 12 recessed electric 6-inch soft-LED ceiling lights with fluorescent trim. We put live Tesla coils in each corner. Yeah. I go for 2. Or you can give me a lamp. And a table. You need a table. Who are you? Where exactly are you doing this from? I'm pretty sure none of my choices are making any difference. Tables were invented in 1935. Thank you for that knowledge. But yeah, I go for 2. None of my choices make any sense. Or any difference. See? There we go.
there's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
Are you sure? Because this guy really seems to like tables and lamps.
So, okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Okay. Hello, please walk forward. This guide will enable you to escape any prison environment. Follow the instructions carefully. Take care that you remember each step. First, click on the stable. Okay, good. Go over to the photo frame and click to turn it slightly. Okay. Now turn the floor lamp in this room off, then turn it back on. This kind of reminds me of the door achievement. Up. Up. Now go to the left side sofa. Move it over a little. This one? Or this one? Oh, there we go. Finally, touch the shelves. That's it. In the real prison, the escape will now open. Return to the start to be taken back to your prison. Okay. I guess I came from here? Return. Return. I seriously have no idea what's going on.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape. Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well.
Cool.
And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside.
Okay.
Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly
There's
a
a
dozen.
lot of random shit here.
Personally, I think it's awful.
Can you stop
to see a
teleporting me?
person basically unraveling.
It was
through
annoying
the
in the
work.
Stanley demo as
And
well.
for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop.
Oh.
That particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons.
Thank you.
This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Okay. I'm just glad I'm not getting teleported again. Jeez, so annoying. Which is ironic for someone who can actually teleport. Oh well. Hey, the lamppost. Almighty lamppost, we greet you all with love. Oh hey, a phone call booth. Do-do-do-do-do. Hello? Hello, who is this? Hey, it's me. I'm you from after you escaped the prison. Sweet. Time paradoxes. You're me? So you were trapped in this prison too? Yep, I was in the furniture maze.
It's a conversation. And so this is what Coda wants.
That's
is to
where
be
I
able
am
to
right
talk
now.
to someone, to share what's
Oh,
on
I'm
his
so
mind,
glad to-
and to get some
Oh,
good
sorry.
advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
It feels like being completely still and wildly in motion at the same time. Do you feel any different? Sometimes I'm scared. I'll get out and then things will be exactly the same as before. To be honest, I kind of feel like the same person. Except pissed for being teleported, so I guess I am a changed person now. Mainly because of the random teleporting, which makes me a little extra grumpy, but oh well. I do. Oh, good. That's so nice to hear. That makes me feel really happy. Age just kind of does that, you know. How long have I been in that prison? I'm still me, but I'm not somehow. It's hard to describe. Remember to enjoy being who you are right now. It won't last. Yeah, I go for 2. I mean, it's pretty much what I described before. Wait, if you're me, then did you get a call from another version of you when you were trapped? No, I think I'm the first person to call back. I mean, I don't remember any phone calls. Then can you tell me how to get out? Maybe I can come find you. What do I have to do? To get out, all you have to do is be sincere. To get out, you need to tell me how you feel right now. To get out... that's none of how I got out. But... sure, tell me how you feel, I guess. I'm in for therapy. With myself. What? That will free me? How does that work? I don't know. It will make sense. I hope it does. Okay, I feel afraid that nothing will ever change. Go on. Wait, that was it?
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be
Actually,
nice?
yeah. That's why I love my friends. Well, part of it at least.
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
Maybe he should go to social media. Or in therapy.
To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the 2 doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Okay. So, what's in here? No! Someone spilled my cola! Or oil. Anyway. Clean. Well, my goodness, I'm glad as heck that you showed up. Though I might have been cleaning this entire household by himself, and right miserable that would have been. Everyone knows lonesome hands make lousy homes.
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step
don't
up
worry
from previous
about
games,
me.
including this new and improved
And
chat
lousy homes
system,
make-
which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Okay. Oh. The bedroom and make the bed. Okay. Do. At least the music is relaxing, so that's nice. Oh, the rug. There we go. Do you enjoy being a house cleaner? Well, I don't enjoy it so much as I need it. While I'm working, I feel kind of calm that rests in the pit of my ribcage. I still just can't be soothed any other way, it seems. Which I guess is about all that matters. Oh, that and the titty couch. Would you straighten the pillows on the sofa? Okay. Oh dear. Looks like someone spilled a drink over by the couch. Maybe mop that up as long as you're over there. Okay. I feel compelled to share an incredibly cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Yeah, sure. Make it especially cheesy. No. Okay. No, it was stupid. Sorry. Never mind. Hey, these dishes need to be washed. Why don't you come do that? Okay. Ugh. I'm not gonna lie, this music is kind of relaxing. Are there still books shattered on the floor of the bedroom? If so, would you put them off the shelf? There we go. Perfect. Now then, how about you come and clean these dishes?
After the
Wasn't
intense
that what
set of
I started
prison
with?
meetings, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it
Do these
sit
chores ever
and
end?
digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
Whatever work you do, you have absolutely got to own it, otherwise it owns you. So why don't we be with the task at hand and leave the future chores to future you? Present you want to
I know that Coda really liked
out
this
the rock
game.
in the bathroom, believe it or not.
Of all of his
Trust me on
work,
this one.
actually, this was the
Okay.
only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly
Well,
happy.
this was
all the
one of
time.
his best
Just
game.
walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Like I said, this is one of the best games he made so far, so... But I get a feeling I have to do everything all over again. I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. That one's house, a lot like one's soul. You take care of it and it takes care of you. Don't know why I felt so weird saying about that. I get it. That's just a weird thing to say to someone you just met. Yeah, you're right. That's pretty cheesy. But there's a bit of truth in it, no? Now that I think about it, I actually can see the metaphor. Which is ironic, cause normally I'm not the type for metaphors. Anyway, so... housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Doesn't make it less annoying, though.
I'm glad he made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
Yeah, if you're gonna have peace with doing the same shit over and over again.
But, of course, it can't
Oh,
last.
thank God.
The music stops, your companion is gone,
Oh.
it's time to leave.
He's actually
The
gone.
door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again,
Okay.
you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
I guess. But wasn't that whole cleaning up stuff about cleaning your soul or something? Or at least getting your shit together? Oh hey, lamppost. Yay!
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right?
I guess.
That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
Okay, if you think so. September 2009. Items you love at members-only prices.
This one gets a bit goofy.
Ooh, I like Goofy. Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No. You came here to become perfect. Oh, finally, someone who can make me perfect. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, whoa, this is a person. Whoa, this person is a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think about that way in your own life? Pip? Who do you know so well is developed as a person that they make you feel disgusted with yourself, compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful? I intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp. And the question is not how we do it, but how we do it effortlessly. This is easy.
About
It is
halfway
so
through the
easy.
game,
It is so
perspective
easy.
shifts.
Being perfect is effortless. What's the dark hole? Kids should not follow their dreams. This is the key. How do I
And you
achieve it
play
with no
as the
offer?
teacher. And suddenly,
other way
you discover
to
that your
work,
teacher is
I
just
go-
as bigoted and afraid as
I
you
go
are.
with one.
Oh, and also you can move around the classroom.
Oh, okay. But, what's that black hole thingy? It doesn't look good. Well, let me tell you right now, it isn't effortless. Then it's not... I still love you, it's just... Being alone must be awful. I still love you, just that you make me... Well, I think I have to roleplay the teacher, so... Thank goodness all of you perceive me as being wise and intelligent. Drinking is not hurting my life. If you are torturing yourself trying to find the right solutions... Oh, this is about insecurity, isn't it? Okay. Do you understand that you won't be happy until you love me? This is for you. Ew, I'm developing a geist. Gross. Seek out only one thing. What is the easiest, simplest path forward? Just kidding. Anyone want to do some ecstasy after this? There is no truth. There is no path. What if I'm not a good teacher? Do what is easiest. Do what is simplest. Feel what is true. Holy shit, you guys, something is coming out of the back of the room. Look out! Thank you for actually acknowledging that. It's coming for you. It's going to destroy you. Nothing, no one. Everyone, run, run!
I felt pretty hard for this one.
Perfection.
I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human.
Okay.
I think about this game a lot these days. This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
Okay. Yeah, this game is strange. I'll give you that. Ooh, we're going theater now. Awesome. Alright, the performance is beginning. Places, please. In this scene, you will be playing as me. We are at a gathering of professionals. First, you start out leaning against this wall. Okay. No idea who the fuck you are, but okay. Oh, that wall. Sorry. Good, stay right there. The woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It's your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Go on, say something to her. Hello. Oh, there she is. Hello, that's it. That's not a conversation. Still better than my other options. You need to actually converse with her. Be a human being. Do it again. Here are all my hopes and dreams. I like you. No, that's not what I said to her at all. Oh, right, I had to be you. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's that you need a better feel of the setting. There are a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounces when you touch them will present the people nearby. Okay. You must have worked really hard to get where you are. I'll bet you've learned to lean into the pain. What are some of the sacrifices you have to make? You're messing in... I'm sorry, I don't know you! Do you not realize how important this was for me? I'll never get another opportunity like this. Sure. Stupid feeder guy. At least give me a fucking script. Oh well. Oh hey, it's the lamppost. I'm closed in with my lamppost. Yep, I'm really closed in for long. Oh well, I'm going. Bye, lamppost. You know, normally those lampposts were the end, but oh well. Okay, yes, now this is working. This is what
The
it
game
was
ends
like.
with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away.
Okay.
Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer.
I know what you're saying, but in the end...
But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to
It's
make
still
a new
his
game.
feelings, so I'm not sure you really should mess around with it. Mobius strip. To play this game properly, you need to keep your eyes closed. Click to begin the game. Anyway, as I was saying, it's his feelings, so I don't think you should mess around with it like that. Okay, great game. Oh, we're doing this again? Okay.
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. Okay. I think there's a puzzle somewhere. Oh, hey, an elevator. The only way to stop it is to speak something that is honest. I can't keep making these. Yes, that's it. That's the truth.
Like I said, I was getting concerned.
I don't feel
First
it
off,
anymore.
he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore.
That's not what I'm
And in
saying.
person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way.
Are you bullshitting me?
His games are going to get more desperate from here on out.
Okay.
After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
December 2010. Where am I? Hello, is anyone there? Is that a person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost. That's because I am. When I try to create, I have nothing left to give to my work. Wait, is this like the Stanley Parable where I have to do exactly as the narrator says? What happened? Did something change? I'm trying to find this engine that used to protect me to start it again. There was a machine that kept me going and stopped. I'm trying to find this engine that used... Wait, you're looking for a machine? I think I know where it is. It isn't far. I need to see it to know why it stopped.
If the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11.
Okay.
Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for?
I don't know.
Because from my perspective at the time and just
Oh,
what
this
I
one
knew of him,
again?
this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet. And so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
Now you have to close the first door. Now just press the switch here.
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness.
True.
It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your
True.
anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
You have to say that game development is simple and joyous and that you love it 100% of the time. Okay. Making games is simple. Ah, that feels wonderful. Is someone crying? Why did the wall just crumble? Don't worry about it, just keep talking. Keep saying that creation is easy. I am constantly excited and enthusiastic about my work.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I
Every
hated it.
time I make
I hated
something.
seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering. This is someone I really cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this,
Yeah.
it was the worst thing for me.
Okay. I just see more walls, so I don't think it works.
I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it.
Oh, hey,
I wanted it to stop more than anything.
we're back at
I
the
never
prison
felt
again.
so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed
Oh, so
anything
she is crying.
for this to stop.
Yeah, I know. Is that Coda?
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
Loading, May 2011. The machine. Oh, hey, it's the guard. Hello, sir. Ma'am, glad to see you arrived safely. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation whenever you like. Okay, I'm Coda, and she's a chick. So that's 2 things I know. Also that she's lonely. I intend to be quick. Very good. Just be warned that someone called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one here. Also, one more thing that you should know about the machine. It calls itself Coda. I thought I was Coda. This game is confusing. Oh well. Will we get to see the machine? Answer. Yeah, I'm not going to read all that. Okay, machine, I have some questions for you.
And of course, it's the machine.
You stopped. Your work was keeping us alive. It was only because of your creations that any of us could make it through every day. Okay, maybe I need to improve acting, but oh well. Anyway. So here's what needs to happen. You need to go to the people who are out there and apologize to them. I have seen the thing you fear. Alright then, I will speak to them for you. It's a machine. I don't think it talks. And again, I have seen more random shit, but oh well. My friends, I have a troubling revelation. The machine refuses to admit that it deliberately hurt us. We will find a way to live without it. We do not need its games. Let us pay it retribution. Retribution. Follow me. We will destroy everything that the machine has created. Die, machine, die! What? Oh, there we go. I have a gun now. So, where's the machine? I assume I have to shoot it. Oh, I just shoot the feeder. Okay. Do. I'm trigger happy. Yes, I'm trigger happy. Trigger happy. Yes, I'm trigger happy. Better watch out, punk, or yeah, I have to blow you away.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after
Sorry.
he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that
Coda.
Coda's stuck in his own
I'll
head,
make sure
and
your
that
work
it's having
dies
a very
here.
negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people. To get some actual feedback on his games.
Isn't that
It
what
might
you're
get him
scared
out
of?
isolation.
Having to live without your precious creations?
And so,
Having to
as
deal
I'm
with it
thinking this,
yourself?
I realized that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make
And
to
what
have
if he
more
didn't
actual
want
conversations with other human beings,
Have
would
you
that
actually
bring him
asked
out of his
him
mental
about that?
spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
I don't know. Shooting. Bam, bam. Oh, I'm
So I
falling.
started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning
Okay.
game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games.
Oh, I keep on
You know,
shooting?
The point of it
Okay.
all was just to give him some external
Oh,
reference
hey, it's the
point,
door
but
again.
They genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Whoa. Oh, it's the machine again. And a lamppost. Hi, lamppost. Put down your weapon. No. Boom,
Can
boom,
you see
boom, boom,
why I
boom,
felt
boom,
like
boom,
this
boom,
was the
boom.
right thing to
Die,
do?
die.
Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good.
Wait.
That I am good. When someone really connects
thought it
with
was
the
all
thing that
about
I've
Coda.
made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something. I really felt like I'd done something good. Like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how
Did
much
you
they
ever
enjoyed his
ask
games,
him
it was
what he
the best
wanted?
feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy.
Yeah, I know what
So
you're going
beautifully,
through, but
beautifully happy.
yeah.
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of
Well,
2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower.
Okay.
And to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a
Okay.
look.
June 2011. The Tower. Okay, where am I supposed to go? Alright.
And this is where I have trouble saying
Okay,
anything
here we go.
meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold
I think it's trying to distance it from you. I mean, you've been messing a lot with his game and all that stuff. I mean, we all have our insecurity
This room
issues.
actually has
but
a maze in it.
still. Okay. Oh,
Except
whoa,
that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise, so the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played.
Yeah.
It actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all.
Ugh.
But
This is
I
a
do
great
want
way
to
to
show
get
you the rest
seizures,
of the
thank you
level,
very
so
much.
when you're ready to continue, press the use key on your gamepad, and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Okay, use. Bum, ba-dum, ba-bum, bum. What a lovely sound around here. Is there someone crying again?
And to be
crying
fair,
again?
it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game.
No.
You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was
sound
actually
like a
trying
chore,
to
but
communicate.
still.
What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze?
I don't know. But I really think you shouldn't have messed with his games. That's kind of rude, you know. Oh well, let's go. Do, 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 do. Where am I supposed to go? Oh, there's the chair. The stairs. Bum, ba-dum, ba-bum. Do, 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 do. Oh, hey!
The
a
only
number
way
slot.
past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible
Seriously?
maze, it's
How's
frustrating
anyone
to me,
supposed to guess
because it's
that?
the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement.
One.
It doesn't ask anything of me,
One,
except
one,
a
one,
lot of my
one,
time.
one.
If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him.
Nope.
But I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move
6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh. I know what to do with this. 8. Get it? From the Stanley Parable. 8. Anyway, 1, 5, 1, 6, 1, 7, and we're done. Well, there we go. Time to see what this game is all about.
The
And I'm
switch to
stuck.
open this door is
Thank you
actually
very much.
on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow
Well,
brute forced your
that's
way
just
through
great.
the first 2 challenges, and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a
Maybe
failure,
he
I guess.
doesn't want you
I
to
can't
fix the problem.
fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that.
Thank you.
Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not
Not
like
really.
everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow.
Exactly.
I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why.
Maybe because you haven't been a good friend to Coda.
I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time. And as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew.
Maybe
It wasn't
it's-
my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them.
Maybe it's because you never took the time to know him and only put in yourself, well, not reflection, but your self-vision, self-insert, or something. But you just
I had been trying to, though. That was
filled
the
in
thing.
his personality.
For years,
or-
I was
or
trying to get to
something.
know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't.
Okay. Well, that's his choice. I know it might be a bit frustrating, but still.
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed
Oh,
to be someone other than me. But he stopped. and
yeah,
left,
I get that feeling.
and it felt somehow like I had failed.
Seriously, what is all that screaming? And we got a whisper now. Great. Ooh. Okay, nothing. So let's go up. Oh, I can go back down again, but we're going up. Well, I already told you that. By not paying attention to your Coda friend and being too busy with self-inserting. Dear Davy, thank you for your interest in my games.
The reason
I need
that
to
you
ask
stopped
you
making
not to speak to
games,
me
aren't I?
anymore.
It's because of
Yes.
what I did. I poisoned it
Yes.
for you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your
I
work and I
wonder
was
at times
showing it
whether
to
you
people,
think I am
it
making
actually
these games
felt
for you.
it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
Yeah, I know those feelings, but it's still kind of wrong. You're
And
so
the
infected
people who
my
played
personal
them,
space that it's possible
they
I
treated
did
me like
begin to plan
I was
solutions in my
important.
work somehow.
They
hidden
really
between the
listened and
games.
cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
Yeah, I know. But yeah. Yeah. How do I respond on it? Okay, I knew how to originally respond to it, but sadly my audio recording program has removed the last 30 minutes, which kind of sucks. But yeah. You can't just go mess around with someone else's game, you know. If there was an answer, a meaning, would it make you any happier? Would you stop taking my game? Oh, there we go. If there was an answer, a meaning, would you be happier? Would you stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes? Giving them something that is not yours to give, violating the one boundary that keeps me safe? Yeah, you've been kind of disrespectful to Sir Coda over here. I understand why though, but yeah, messing with your friend's stuff isn't the right way to go about it. Ooh. It's kind of pretty though here. Do-do-do. And I see what my buddy's talking about with changing the camera too much. Anyway, would you stop changing my games? Stop adding lampposts to them. Yeah, I made this video before I got the feedback about stop moving the camera so
And
much.
then you stopped.
And
I didn't
being
have
stuck in
anything
one
left to
place.
show people.
Would you
I just
simply
had to
let them be
with
what they
myself.
are?
And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean?
I don't know. But yeah. When I'm around you, I feel physically ill. Yeah, you are kind of toxic. Understandable toxic. You desperately need something. And I cannot give it to you. I literally do not have it. Maybe you should reconsider about taking therapy. Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just a part of any progress. Oh. Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just a part of the process. That's a very good point, actually. The fact that you think I am frustrated or broken says more about you than about me. I realize that this doesn't make sense to you just yet. Which is fine, you're not my problem to solve. But I do hope that one day it clicks, and that you make peace with this thing
I'm
you are
afraid that I
wrestling.
did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
Yup. Just like I told you the whole game. And when you finally see what I'm talking about... Don't say anything. Well, time to do this puzzle again. Probably for the last time. So... Come on. Come on. There we go. It's the dark space again. Yay! There's nothing here. But we close the door. And
That's
there's
why
no
I'm
handle.
releasing this collection of your work. Is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as
Dude,
long
you
as I
can't
had
force
your
him
work
to make
see
video
myself
games
in.
just to make yourself feel
I mean,
good.
is something wrong with me? Because I know that I
Yes.
did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I
Yes,
was wrong?
there
Will that
is.
work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing
No,
else that I can
you
do.
need
Just
therapy.
tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that
Just
makes you
accept
complete.
it
I
and
want
let Coda
whatever that
go.
wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Looks like we're going to die. Thank you. Epilogue. Oh, we're here. It's kind of pretty here, though. Nice clock. Doesn't have any, whatever those sticks are called. And that's a nice train.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more.
Yeah, no.
It's like a disease.
Yeah, exactly.
Solution.
I mean, I once became jealous of my buddy Pip because, well, I tried so many years to get rid of our evil dictator and tried all the things and only to mess things up. And then there's Pip, who could literally do everything.
I guess if someone had told me ahead
And
of time that he just really enjoyed
everyone
making
loved her
prison
and
games,
stuff, and
maybe I wouldn't have thought he was
Well,
so desperate.
she could easily defeat
I wouldn't have
evil.
told so many
well,
people that he
maybe
was
not
depressed.
easily, but well, she
Maybe he
easily
just
knocked
likes making
me out of a
Christmas.
tournament. But the point is, she was so much better in everything I did, and well, it kinda, made me feel weak and useless, mostly pointless.
Even now, the disease
to
is
the
telling me to
point
stop.
where I
Don't show
even
people what a shitty
made a
person you
deal
are.
with
They'll hate you.
a sort of evil half-god that gave me, he made me the not evil, but he made me a Shadow Lord. Hence the whole Shadow Lord rogue being thingy. And at least it was good enough to help get rid of the dictator, but it was still her and my other party member friends who did most of the stuff while I had pretty much take care of my folk. I mean,
If I knew
I
that
am
my life depended
technically
on
the new
finding
leader
something
now,
to be
so
driven by
yeah.
other than validation, what would that
But the
even
point is, sometimes I wonder
Strange,
if I'm
but
even good
the
enough
thought
for
of
the
not
party and
being
stuff.
driven by external validation is unthinkable.
But hey, as
like,
time
I
went on,
actually cannot conceive
I
of
learned
what
to
that
do
would be
more
like.
stuff as a Shadow Lord rogue, and I realized I got some stuff of my own. Like I mentioned before, teleporting and seeing in the darkness. And I can even go to the what was it called? The Shadow Realm? The Dark Realm? Anyway, point is, I got stuff of my own that
I think I need to go.
never realized I had, so
And
yeah.
I'm sorry, because I know
The
that I said
point
that I
is-
would be here
is
and I would walk you through this,
That
but
we just need to
starting to
stop
feel like I have a lot
being
of work to
jealous
do.
of
I
our
have a lot
more
that I need to
talented
make up for.
friends
So
and just look at what we can
Just
do and what makes us special. I think once we do that,
okay.
our life will probably be a lot better. And I know that things will go better from now on out. You can change the past, but you can still change the future. So, why not do that? You know? Oh well. But yeah, maybe you probably need some therapy too. I guess if I had some therapy, things probably would have been a lot of better. Oh. I assume you're gone now. But that's okay. The point still stands. I just have to learn to become a better leader and stuff. Well, actually leadership to begin with. Yeah, it was kinda dumb to forget about the whole becoming the new ruler thingy. Once we got rid of the dictator, guess I was the only gnome there, so obviously I would become the dictator. I mean the new leader. I sure do not want to become the new dictator. But yeah. Point is... Yeah, the point is... that, well... we all got our stuff to learn about, and we can always improve ourselves. And being stuck in the past doesn't really help anybody, especially not yourself. So all we can do is look forward. And over time, I'm sure I will learn to become a leader. Instead of, your regular old Stanley. Well, all we can do is ask, What will the future hold for us? Oh well. Is it starting to rain? Yep, it's definitely going to rain. Well. Oh, hey, it's that thingy from the whole heaven ending thing. Or at least Ooh, I'm now going to heaven to meet King Bum. King Babum Bum. Ooh. Hey, I just realized that life is pretty much like a maze. That's the metaphor it's trying to tell us here. Huh. Funny how I never noticed that before. Oh well. So pretty. Well, the point is, we all make mistakes. And as long as we learn from it, it's all okay. And the stars, they sure are beautiful. And so is the maze. It sure goes far. Huh. And the pretty moon that companions it. Kinda sounds like light and darkness. For our.
Turn back from this cave.
This project would not have been possible without the following individuals. Oh hey, Jesus made this game again. Let's see, there's Ryan Ruff and Jack Person. Turn Back, written by Helena Heron, performed by Helena Heron and Ryan Ruff. Additional thanks of Fifa Pinchash, James Renovich, Rusty Moyhar. Okay, yeah, I don't think will be able to read all that. But it's okay. It's a pretty song though. I'm not gonna lie about that. Well, and that was the final part of the Stanley Parable trilogy. I hope you enjoyed the video and bye-bye!